Good morning, Vietnam! Breaking news.
Where have you been?
Wow, where
Where have
have
you
we
been?
been? It has been the summer. I'm stealing this from Tim Dillon, but it has been the summer of poop, if we're being super honest. But welcome back. We are back for a Vietnam slash solo pod. I mean, I don't know. We're just chatting it up today, hitting some major news points. I was thinking as I was preparing for this show, haven't seen anything about dogs or cats lately. Have you, Cody? In the news exchange?
I saw you post about a cat.
Well, I saved a cat, which I'm now wondering if that cat even needed saving or if it was just like cuz like we've all been there. Like when you go to a drive-through like Chick-fil-A and you have it in your car and then the next time you get in your car and you smell that Chick-fil-A, you're like, like I'm guessing like this is what weed people do with hotboxing. Like this cat was just face full into a Sonic mozzarella stick bag, I think. So was this cat just like marinating in the smell of that in those mozzarella sticks? So I don't know. Anyway, we did help a cat. Annie says we should name him Sonic. What did she say what did she say the cat's name was? Did she say it was Lou? Is his
I don't
name?
know. I have to go look
Let's
again.
see. Let's see which cat I helped today or whatever day I did that. Um, I'm just like a good neighboring so hard. Neighbor maxing. Good neighbor maxing.
Shut up. Is this compliant?
Yeah, probably not. But totally, we're good neighbor maxing out here. I hate that actually. Christina New said, "That's Lou. He's my cat. He loves to hunt for food. He ran straight home after you save him. You're welcome. You're welcome, Lou. And get out of my dumpster." Anyway, welcome back to the Vietnam news. There's nothing giantly pressing that I wanted to cover, but I figured we should do a show and just check in with everybody and say, "Hey." And we're back. So, Cody, how was your summer?
It's hot. And yeah, it's hot. That's about it.
That's all he's got,
Yeah.
folks. That's all he's got. Cody had a day today. Cody, you should post these pictures. He went into a business pitch meeting with his shirt on inside out.
Shout out Dustin Young for not
Shout out
not
Dustin
making fun
Young,
of me.
who hopefully didn't notice it. And maybe he's not going to notice it before he watches this video.
Where are
And
the pictures? Did you send them to me?
I'll send them to you. They're excellent though. I mean, also to be fair to Cody, I wouldn't have noticed it if he didn't say anything, but apparently everybody on our team clocked it the moment he walked in the room. So it's got to be nice just not even thinking about how does this shirt look when I put it on. That's got to be an amazing freedom that you have, Cody. Right? I mean, like, did you just throw that shirt on? You were like, I don't know.
What's funny is I had a polo on
Hmm.
with a
Yeah,
baseball
you're on your
jersey over
third
it.
shirt today, actually.
Yes, yes. I'm sweating
It's
through
hot.
everything. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna change into a simple shirt. You know, everybody knows me. That I'm not gonna try to be something I'm not.
Hmm.
However, I don't normally wear shirts inside out. So that was my first business meeting with uh like a coach, I
Yeah.
guess, like
Hmm.
for a sale, and I did not expect to go in looking like a bum, and I
Well,
did.
I spilled ketchup on my crotch today, and didn't notice it till I was in an interview.
You know how
What were
they
you saying?
say you kind of become the people you surround yourself with.
Oh dear.
Yeah,
Keep
well,
going.
I hate that I feel like I'm picking up traits from being around you too much.
Around me, like putting
Yes,
your
like
shirt on
no,
inside out? What are you talking
I like
about?
things I would never consider, I'm like in my head, I'm like,
Putting your shirt on
"No, no,
normally,
no, no,
you'd
no, no,"
never
but, like,
consider that till me?
I've always been the kind of person that's like, "I'm just gonna be myself, and people are gonna like it," and I'm like, "Ah, maybe I should, dress up a little bit
As we
nicer."
talk a lot, shame is sometimes people need more of it. People also need more deodorant. People also need more toilet paper. We are actually having a summer where there should be toilet paper shortages because of all of the diarrhea viruses going on right now. Because I think either Mexico keeps pooping in the ocean or some worker at a salad plant keeps pooping in the water. Either way, keep your poop where it belongs, people. This is getting ridiculous. Luckily, Lettuce and I have not been tight for a while, so we're good. I did see a blueberry recall come out last night for more poop virus with a higher likelihood of death. I don't know if it's up there with COVID level death, but I gotta say, anti, here's some things that have happened since have become the answer to everything. Man, you can't say. or YouTube's just gonna kill us. So bleep out that. Shots for things. After I had hand, foot, and mouth, 2 weeks to flatten that curve. Holy crap. I lost my fingernails for like a year after that. And then yeah, just the diarrhea viruses. That that would be, although I don't know. It's a nice flush of the system. Okay, anyway, I had a perfectly fine, good, great summer. It's gone by really fast. I got to go to the great state of Maine on a quick anniversary trip with my wife. That was a blast. We went to Kennebunkport, had some lobster, saw President Bush's Secret Service team at his house. That was pretty cool. We went to Maine, and then subsequently, I went down to Big Cedar Lodge and played the Big Cedar golf courses, which was super cool. Which is a segue into, some of you are going to think this is stupid, and that's okay because I've done stupid things before, and sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. But we are officially launching a YouTube channel that tracks my golf journey.
I mean, what is that? Par.
It's creatively named Landon Ball Golf. You should subscribe to it. We are basically, if you've watched any YouTube golf, we're just making YouTube golf content. I do have, I think, what is a potentially interesting story of, I have not been a golfer up until last year. Last year was the first time I bought my own set of like real clubs. I had like some garage sale clubs that I think I got from my buddy Joe Ryan, but he wouldn't let me keep the 7-iron because he was money with it or something, whatever that means. And and I don't think I had anything besides a driver that was like a wood type. And I would break it out like once a year for the 4th of July and shoot like 130 and have a good time. And then 2 years ago, I think, no, it was last year, last 4th of July, I went golfing with my brother and my in laws, and shot like a 90. And I was like, oh, that was, and it wasn't like a real 90. I got a lot of gimmies, and probably didn't play the drop rules right, but like I felt like I shot a 90. I was like, all right, here we go. This is fun. And then bought my own set of Tacomos. Shout out to Como, who's not a sponsor yet. And then I have kind of played a lot of golf. And in Missouri, especially this past winter, the weather was pretty great. So I was getting to play multiple times in December and January and February and all that stuff. And I went from not really golfing to, your boy went down to Paynes Valley. Yeah, got to circle back here, my ADHD. Went down to Paynes Valley, and your boy shot a 75 at Paynes Valley, which was so cool and euphoric, and it was incredible. And then I get home from this trip, and Annie's like, Annie, my wife, she goes, and she looks at me just like this. She's like, so which trip was better? And I'm like, the main trip, obviously. And she's like, you liar. And I'm like, I know. You just can't explain like going down to like one of the coolest courses in the world and shooting your personal best, and beating everybody that you played with that day. I didn't beat everybody the whole week, but just it was epic. And I did that with 3 double bogeys on the card. It was epic. Shanked a couple of balls, one into the woods, and I still just had a wickedly cool scoring day. So all that to say, I think what I want to do, Paige, when you're watching this as a requirement of your internship, that is like so official. When we build this website, I also want to have a tab that says golf with me where people can request to golf with me because I think it would be fun to do YouTube golf content with people. So I think that's a good idea. So Paige, clock that. Um,
I hate to tell you this, I think I'm gonna be the one building your website because I'm pretty sure her internship is over.
it's not. She's locked in. She doesn't know what she signed. Anyway,
I don't think she signed anything.
she's fully locked in.
She's booming right now. She's doing good.
She has a blank office space up in here, so I will hold her stuff hostage until I get a website built. First of all, producing content is more work than it would appear to some of you, but also in a small town, like I do the Fayette. We had a long season there where I felt like I was telling a lot of truth, and I still have not been informed that I have not been telling truth about stuff around the ambulance and things going on in town. And subsequently, that has created a lot of pressure and pain points for my family and for my teams. And so I obviously am not more motivated to do things that might cause stress and frustration to my teams and my family around me. So I probably want to do less of that, even though I think telling the truth is good and getting on here. But I might do one of these Fayette noms once a month instead of doing them once every week and having to say the same thing about people not telling the truth or whatever or nothing making sense. But all that to say, I'm combining two of my hobbies, podcasting and golfing, into one. That'd be great. Here we are. But anyway, let's talk about some local news stuff because there is a lot of stuff that has happened over the summer. Nothing necessarily huge. There is a big one that Fayette School's start date has been delayed. Cody, did it get delayed to September 1st? Do we know that for sure?
It's 100% delayed. I don't know remember if the date was
Okay.
September 1st
I
or
don't
not.
know if they've officially changed that date. I'm sure somebody can tell us, but we do know that the start of Fayette schools is it going to be the whole district or just the middle school and elementary
No,
school?
it'll be the whole district.
Okay.
They'll all start in September, and I don't think it's that from what I understand, it's not that hard for them to make up considering they have Mondays off normally, so I think they'll
Yeah.
just make it up with a few Mondays.
With a few Mondays. Okay. Because
I don't
isn't it
know.
just a week delay or is it
Yeah,
2 weeks?
I honestly don't think it's gonna
Okay.
hurt nothing.
Well, if anybody has any opinions on that, comment below. Tell us what you're thinking on that side. A couple of things that I addressed in our Vietnam news group that I've been hearing on was our football team. At one point, I had heard that we didn't even have enough kids to make a team, which I was like, shoot, I wanted to interview Coach Grubb, and I don't know if he's going to have a team. But it sounds like they do have a team. I did get some insight, some videos from practice, looking at like 17 or 18 team members practicing right now. I've heard anywhere from like 22 to 23 people on the roster. I don't know. All that to say is say your prayers for this football team because that is the current number right now. Let's say even the number is 25, which I don't think it is. You have got to make it through injuries and grades for a long time there. So, and then hopefully there's not any competing band schedule with that as well. But I'm hoping that Coach Grubb has a chance to actually develop a program here because we certainly have enough boys to have more people than that. But um, that's where we're at on the football team. Another update I wanted to give you guys is there's a sidewalk project. If you haven't seen it going on North Main Street, um, and let's see here, yeah, right here on North Main Street in front of Henry's Hometown Ice Cream, in front of my office, and there has been a lot of I don't see again. This is where I don't want to be too aggressive or polarizing or blah blah blah, or you just don't like the way I tell the truth, whatever. It's obviously any construction can be a super inconvenience. This construction kind of showed up out of nowhere. It has taken, I think, much longer than they thought it was going to take. Um, and some of us businesses are going, well, how long are we going to be interrupted? Because once they get to the east side of that sidewalk, because right now they're on the west side of the sidewalk where you don't have any retail, you're going to get to the east side of the sidewalk where you do have retail, you do have entrances for many buildings that provide jobs. You got the attic, you got the newspaper, you've got Mickey, what is that? The Peacock Beauty Shop. Then you got the State Farm office, and then you've got Henry's Hometown Ice Cream there. So genuinely, I'm very concerned about we have about 4 or 5 different backup plans on how we get ice cream out the door, if they happen to originally, I talked to a project manager that said they would and this was back in July, mid to late July. They said they would be over on our side in 2 weeks, and they thought that they would be done like, they thought no more than a day outage, whenever they got in front of my business. That has not been the story on the west side, but maybe the west side is where they figured out, and the east side they haven't completely figured out, but it has been going on longer than it thinks, and I'm nervous for that. So, I've had a lot of people ask me, like, "Does the city pay for any business interruption?" I genuinely have no clue. I don't know what to do about it, but I just would encourage you guys that I've never been one to say, like, shop local for the sake of charity, but, like, if you um, are looking for opportunities to patronize local business and they provide good products and service. It's going to be really important here in August. This is a brutal time to have any interruptions to our shop with students coming back at CMU. So anyway, Henry's Hometown Ice Cream is open and we're cooking. And when there is any blockage in front of there, we are still going to find a way to be open. So
Sounds like it's, time to
time to
get
break out the bike. CMU students are back, so parking is hideous again, and that's okay. That means there's people in this town. So there's a little bit of, and I think in our last episode we covered it, and I don't think anything's happened since about the injunction that the city filed against the ambulance district. Anyway, so there's still some stuff to watch in the ambulance district. I'm hoping Justin will cover some more of that. Obviously, Fayette School delaying is a big one. Let's see. Also, this kind of quietly happened, but I was happy to see it. There appears to be some rental zoning crackdown developing in Fayette. So, the city has reported plans to crack down on rental properties located in the RS1 residential zones. Um, which has kind of, I don't know if it was correlated or if it also got brought up at the same time, or if it was one of those like, I'm curious if the city was like, no, this is RS1, you can't do the ambulance build out here, and the ambulance was like, well, these people aren't using RS1 correctly anyway, and then it like as kind of like a cop out, like, well, if nobody's going to do it right, then we don't have to do it right, and then the city's like, oh yeah, we'll cut down on them, or we'll cinch down on them too. Cinch can't be the right word. We'll crack down on them too. That's what it is. So there is some reports now that the RS1 here. I'm going to find this on a friend's Facebook page is where I remember it coming from. This is posted from the city of Fayette. It's a zoning reminder. It says the city of Fayette reminds property owners that homes located within an RS1 single family residential district must be used as single family dwellings. The property may be rented as one complete residence under a single family living arrangement. However, renting individual rooms or portions of the home to separate tenants through individual monthly rental agreements is not permitted as a standard use in an RS1 district, which is a very common slumlord thing that I see when you see some of these beautiful, big old like 1800s Main Street houses, and they're doing like individual room leases and you're putting a bunch of strangers in there. I mean, it's like what college stuff is. But again, all of those homes that tend to do that tend to not be in super great shape. So, anyway, however, renting individual rooms or portions of the home to separate tenants is not allowed. A boarding house is allowed only after receiving conditional use approval. These requirements help preserve the residential character, safety, and quality of life of Fayette's neighborhoods. Property owners are encouraged to confirm zoning requirements before advertising or establishing a rental agreement. So, that was a warning on August 4th from the city of Fayette, Missouri, but encouraging to see some potential crackdown on actual zoning, which is great because I do think we have a code enforcement officer now.
Hey, and something we've not talked about on the NOM is the coffee shop. So
Oh, yeah. Good point, Cody. Fireside Bakes and Brews is for sale. The business, the building, the whole shebang. I have not heard any development on that. I believe it's still listed.
can that be the title?
What?
Is that too clickbaity?
Yeah, it's way too clickbaity. Business for sale, Fayette, Missouri. I mean, how do you even look this stuff up? There we go. Commercial real estate for sale.
The ask, I believe, is
The ask is
$275,000.
$275,000 for the. But again, that's not just the building. That is the coffee shop as well. It's been on the market for 40 days. It's 1,200 square feet. I don't know if it's got a functional bathroom or not. $230 per square foot is the price per square foot.
It's functional. As from what I hear, you can't flush the toilet paper, unfortunately, for some reason.
So you
Blocks it.
cannot poop in that toilet. Big news: Ocha Asian closed.
Did you not talk about that already? I thought that
No,
was the whole slumlords part.
no, 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 nope, 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 nope,
Yeah.
nope. Ocha Asian has closed, which is sad. Not surprising, but it is sad.
Do you think it's them not paying their rent, or do you think the rent's
I
ridiculous?
mean, that probably contributed to the foreclosure of their business was not paying their rent. If I'm doing math right, it sounded like the rent was roughly around $2,000 a month. That's not crazy for that space. That's hard to do as a restaurant, but that's rent on a building like that. My cool idea that I will give the cooks that own that building, you could. My wife is going to hear this. If you want to talk to me about selling that building, I have an idea. Yeah, I'm curious what like Fayette's interested in right now. What's at top of mind? We got, this sidewalk that's happened. I've heard a lot of flack around this sidewalk that's happening in front of me. It's hard because how do I put this? It's like if you were trying to let's see where my brain goes. It's like uh it's like you had a lazy little brother, you know? It's like you had a lazy little brother. This isn't on you, Lane. I'm just picking little brother just for people's imagery. You had a lazy little brother that all he did was do nothing and play video games all day. And you've just been like, dude, you gotta get out and do something. You gotta get out and do something. You gotta get out and do something. And so finally his mom gets upset and goes, David, not my little brother's name, by the way, David, go. You need to fold our laundry. Fold the laundry. And David goes and he folds his laundry, but not anybody else's laundry. Um and he does a really bad job of it. No, this analogy is kind of breaking down. But the point being is like, we're like, David, you did it. You got out of the basement. That wasn't super important and you could have done it better. But we're like, so I don't want to criticize progress because I'm happy that we're doing something, and I think it was funded through a grant. I don't know what choices we had with that grant money. Somebody should correct me, or not correct me, but just tell me, like, what our options were with that grant money. It also doesn't matter because it's happening now. But I don't think anybody would have looked at our square and gone, those two sidewalks is urgently need addressed. I don't think anybody would have thought that. I think if like that same money could have been applied to making sure, like, I don't know, the beautiful stonework around the square itself was like in really good shape, like money towards that. I don't know. So like I'm not criticizing the fact that a project is happening. I am curious if there was alternatives, because now this is quite the interruption, and I'm also concerned that I'm hoping the sidewalk doesn't mess with all the concrete work that we did for my patio. But there's a lot of people who are like, why don't we spend this money elsewhere? I think it was for a grant. I'm curious what it could have been used for elsewhere. But point being is, I do think our city is up to a lot, reconstruction, road paving, things like that, which is great. Um, I just don't know how many voices are connected to what people believe are the actual needs of this town. But again, I don't know if I'm one of those people. So curious to hear from many of you what the needs are of this town. I think a lot of us want to see our businesses thrive. So we want to see policy and things like that certainly not go against that and be for that. I think one of the biggest gaping holes that I have always pointed out is like we now have a almost completely taxpayer funded organization in the downtown Fayette Main Street organization, that I would have expected to at this point uh, have a lot more things happening downtown. And I know it's hard when you're running a primarily fully volunteer ran organization, and so I'm not trying to over criticize it. But I think anytime we hold events in Fayette, it helps all of our businesses out, from the food, from the shopping, and things like that. And so if we could just have some consistency there, and some increase on that, that's kind of what goes through my mind. I think we're primed. Any businesses that are trying to hire, I think it's actually a decently good hiring market right now. I think there's a lot of people open to work and open to doing work. I can at least say that in my office in the ice cream shop, we've had plenty and plenty of applicants. Um, Plenty of applicants, and I think I hired 3 people this week. So there's progress to be had there. CMU is always a highlight for bringing people in. So yeah, I'm just hoping this can be a place that will continue to thrive in that direction. Oh yeah, that was some news. There's a nightclub opening.
I actually think the nightclub being open to more than just college kids, I think that might I'm not saying it's something I participate in, but I actually think that'd be good for Fayette. Like I think people having a place to go to that isn't just a I don't know, like the all the bars are like restaurants. They're not really you don't go there to, dance. But
I'm not like for alcohol, so
I
I'm
I'm
probably not a good voice here.
I'm gonna say I'm not
Or
saying
dancing.
if we have a lot of I could see that fitting a demographic
There's
and being
already a
good
lot
for
of
a specific
infidelity in this town. Dark dancing, dark lights, music,
You
dancing,
don't
and
want to go. You don't go
alcohol.
dance at the club, dude.
You think I'm gonna dance at the club?
Dude, I'll go.
If I wanted to end my marriage, that's what I would go do.
I'll go drop it like a tot, dude.
Dude, did you know it's like impossible to squat with one hand up in the air?
I feel like you're
Just try it. Just try it.
right now.
Yeah,
I don't
but I want to show it on camera to see if you can do it.
know. Dude,
Let me see. Let me see.
I
I don't think you can do it, to be honest.
no,
You're not
no.
flexible
I know
enough.
what this is. You're about to hit me. I'm about to do it
He
too.
stood up,
I'm
too.
about to do it too. I'm like sitting there thinking to myself, you're about to make me do the most zesty thing. I cannot believe I just fell for that. I'm like thinking in my head, like, what does he set me up for? Drop down, and say, hey. I hate you so much. I can't believe I about did that. How about you
I
do
got
it?
him standing up. It was so close,
How
guys.
about you do it? I'll make it the thumbnail.
Yeah. I'm not afraid to bend and snap like Legally Blonde,
You just
It's
ask
up
another
there.
man to throw it back for you. I think that's what you just
Not
did.
for me, for the camera, but
Okay, all right. What kind of studio are we running in here?
it's dark in here. In more news, Trump reduced the tariffs on imports on beef, which will wreck local cattle prices. You're welcome. Thanks, Papa Trump, for finally being invested in domestic politics, and you do that. Also, the economy is about to crash.